Hey guys, my name is Christy and this is my Crafty Country. If you have not already done so, give me a thumbs up if you like these videos and subscribe and hit that bell notification so you get notified every time I upload a video. For my first DIY, I'm going to be using one of these reindeer ornaments and I am going to be sanding off some of the glitter and spray painting it black after I use some super glue and some hot glue to attach it to this wreath holder, and that is all there was to this one. This is like the easiest DIY you could ever do. For DIY number 2, I'm going to be using one of these plastic Dollar Tree cutting boards, and the first thing I do is I use a combination of my elephant colored chalk paint from Waverly, and I just used some black to darken it up a little bit, but I didn't want it completely black. So I just mixed in some black acrylic paint and painted the whole inside frame of the cutting board. And once it was completely dry, I used this printable that I will link down below, and I am just going to Mod Podge it to the front of the cutting board. So I just put a healthy amount behind the paper and then smooth that part down just to hold there at the top. And then I will go over the entire paper, edges and all, after I get done, just to lock it in and seal it. Once that dries completely, I will be taking my iron and ironing it down just to flatten out the design, and I did use a piece of parchment paper in between so it would not stick, and I had my iron on as low as it would go. Now here I'm just going to distress the edges to give it more of a worn vintage look before I start adding my embellishments. So sticking with the vintage look, I am going to wrap some twine around the top and the bottom of this, and I'm only doing it at the top and bottom of the square part, not around the handle. So I just hot glue it on the back, wrap it a few times, and then hot glue it back down before I cut it. Now here you want to use some silicone finger protectors or use a popsicle stick, that way you don't get your fingers burnt. But I just wrapped this probably 10 times maybe, and then glue it down and snip it off. Now for this next part, you want to be super careful, but I just took my lighter and I burned off the little fuzzy parts on the twine, and this also helps darken the twine. So I really like that look, so I did use the lighter a little more than normal. Now I'm going to paint this little rolling pin that I had in my stash, and I use the Waverly chalk paint in the color pumpkin because I figured it was fitting. Since my little design is a pumpkin pie recipe, I wanted to kind of stick with the fall vibe. One part that I missed showing you guys is I did use some of the Dollar Tree's baker's twine, and I wrapped it around the handle and glued it down. And then I glued down this little paper sunflower at the very top, right over top of that twine. before adding my rolling pin to the top of the cutting board. And that is all there is to this DIY. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, leave me a comment below. For my third and final DIY, I'm going to be making a Christmas wreath. So I used one of the wire rings out of one of the floral sphere sets that you can get at Dollar Tree. They have two different sizes. I did use the larger one. Now, when I went to use it, I used the biggest piece that had the posts on it, and I snipped one of the posts off the inside of the ring because I only needed the one on the bottom. So here I have a variety of Dollar Tree florals. I have the pine, I have like the white twigs, and then I have this glitter fern set. So I just used a couple of the white twigs on each side and a couple pieces of the glitter fern on each side. And here I used a full stem of the pine on each end. So I just glue those together, and then I start hot gluing the other pieces to the pine before wrapping it all together onto the wire. So here you'll see me use a silicone mat underneath. That way if I hot glue and it drips through, it's not going to get stuck to my surface. I definitely recommend getting these. Dollar Tree has just started selling some. I haven't seen them yet, but I ordered these through Amazon, so I will link those down in the description. That way you can find these. I think I got a set of 3, so definitely a very handy tool to have. At this point, when I go to attach the fern leaves to the pine, I actually use pieces of pipe cleaner and then I wrap it around all of the stems to attach the entire set to the wire. Now I did it down here at the base of each piece of pine, but then here in a little bit, I don't know if I got it on here or not, but I used another piece of pipe cleaner on each side at the top of the pine. That way it would stay on and not rock forward off of the ring. To finish off the florals, I did use some of these Dollar Tree berries just to give it a little pop of color. Now to make the bow, I did use some Dollar Tree ribbon, and it's the red buffalo plaid, and I used my easy bow maker to create the bow for it just because I did not feel like trying to hold all the ribbon in my hands. So here you see I lay it down in between the posts, and then I just twist each piece of ribbon and twist it to where the pretty side is facing out. Each time you go to make another hoop, you have to push down in the center and then twist and then bring it back to the center. It's just a repeating process. I hope that makes sense. I know you can see what I'm doing, so hopefully that's better than the way I describe it. I will also link this easy bow maker in the description, because if you have trouble with holding onto things like I tend to, this is a game changer. It makes it so easy to make bows. I'll put it in the description. I did do 3 loops on each side. The first 2 loops on each side were 4-inch loops, and then the top 2 loops were 3-inch loops, and then my tails were probably about 6 inches long. So I get all of that pinched together, and then I use a piece of that pipe cleaner to cinch it all together in the middle and tie it off super tight. Now I'm going to set my bow off to the side and attach this little lantern that I found at Dollar Tree, and I spray painted it black, and for the spacer in between the post and the lantern I just used a Dollar Tree Jenga block and hot glued it down and covered it with a piece of black felt, and then I super glued the bow to the front at the very bottom of the lantern, and it is ready to go. I really hope you guys enjoyed all of these DIYs. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite, and make sure you give me a thumbs up. Now, if you are not already a subscriber, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you get notified every time I upload a video, and I will see you guys in my next video.